Jai Mohanji to all. After having successfully completed reading I Am Mohanji Volume 1, today we are beginning to read I Am Mohanji Volume 2, Grace Leads to an Enlightened State by Mamta Gangaramani, which is me. And these are a compilation of my true personal experiences and personal stories with Mohanji, very transformative stories. There's a lot of substance to it and everybody can relate to it, even though they are my personal experiences, but each and everyone can relate with it. So let's begin reading. Let me tell you about the cover page. This is at Pune airport. When Mohanji was visiting us, we had the privilege of bringing him to our own city, receiving him at the airport. And this date was 5th December 2023, a day which we will always remember. So let me begin by reading the matter on the back cover of the book. I Am Mohanji, Grace Leads to an Enlightened State, Volume 2. Subtlety allows divine communication as reality. Subtlety, in simple words, is a refined perspective to see and feel things using the tool of awareness. The greatest awareness is that we are nothing and we know nothing. Divine universal energy is all that is. Everything animate, inanimate put together is an expression of the universe. It is the natural flow or conglomeration of the divine energy shaped to matter in a space and in a time for the greater purpose of regaining balance and justice. There is one Almighty and we are all the children of Almighty. That Almighty is beyond religions. A piece of that Almighty is us. An avatar happens in every yuga, which means era or ages, to guide humans to their original state. Any other state is bound state that causes sorrows and pains. Mohanji is a living master and the name for the avatar of our times, the 21st century. He is easy to approach and is available to every sincere seeker. With connection, integrity, and surrender to the master, we experience oneness in consciousness. He holds hands. He takes responsibility. He guides people to liberation. The grace of beloved Master Mohanji has led me to a liberated existence while living. I offer all the numerous experiences back to the world as seva at the feet of our revered Guruji Mohanji. I invite you to witness an account of true stories on this beautiful spiritual journey of mine as you tread your path to transformation. Let's begin reading. There are a total of 140 pages which we will be reading throughout and should be able to finish in about 13-14 episodes of 20 minutes each. This is the index page of the book. There are in total 18 chapters which we will be reading. 18 is a good number. 18, Bhagavad Gita also has 18 chapters. So yes, 18 is a wonderful number here. Now we will start reading forward. The course of my life was interestingly changing direction from living scriptures to getting tuned to a series of heartthrob vibrations from Bollywood numbers. The book writing activity of mine initially had begun just to have the extraordinary experiences journaled for my own sake, for my own remembrance of my Ishta Devata, Mohanji. Ishta Devata means chosen form of God. Reading through them, I derive strength to easily maneuver difficult situations that life brings. These have helped me achieve stability and maintain it steadfast as I continue to walk the spiritual path. One by one, the experiences have kept adding on. I couldn't then just keep holding on to them for my own benefit and gain. This abundant wealth of mine needed to be selflessly shared with the world. Mohanji has given me eyes to see and know his grand stature. I shall, through the detailed account of my experiences, share that sight with the world. I released my book, I Am Mohanji, Experience Sharing by a Disciple, Volume 1 in February 2024. I feel very blessed that more experiences have continued to happen. The writing continues. I Am Mohanji, interestingly, is now growing to become a series. I feel very happy as I jot down many more experiences and bring forth the subsequent volume 2 to the world. In the first volume to the series, I have shared experiences about Mohanji's grace that made possible for me to live the sacred scriptures in real time. The deepening connection to Mohanji opened a whole lot of unexplored dimensions. It brings to awareness that consciousness of Rama or Krishna or that of Jesus timelessly exists and can be tangibly felt thousands of years later. The pastimes of Krishna became possible for me to live and experience in real time. I experienced living Radha, an epitome of highest devotion, and tangibly felt God's love. I lived as Hanuman and experienced the bliss of complete surrender. The book is available to read on Amazon and Gurulite websites. We are not solid bodies of physical mass. We have the God element present in us and activating us through every cell of ours. Each organ of ours is a frequency. The various emotions and feelings that we go through are frequencies. The three states, waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state that we experience every 24 hours are frequencies. Physical bodies succumb to death, but the frequencies continue to exist. We need to raise our frequencies to feel and experience the higher realms. It is possible to feel God when we have raised our frequency. This potential is available only in a human birth. We have the faculty to know and feel God. The truth is available for us to know. The way forward is to consciously shed the lower frequencies of anger, hatred, jealousy, etc., and imbibe the higher frequencies of kindness, love, and compassion. It is to bring in the conscious awareness and realizations that we are indeed walking, talking consciousness in a human body. Mohanji is a representation of Param Ishvara, which means Supreme Consciousness. He is verily the formless energy activating and sustaining the universe, wearing a human form for the sake of enabling a connection with him. I have tangibly felt his formless presence around me. I have felt his presence in all beings and in all things, animate, inanimate. When we nurture subtlety, receptivity, faith in existence, purity in thoughts, and silence of the mind, we can touch the godliness that verily exists in our very own being, but that which remains eclipsed by the wheel of ignorance. Mohanji's birth is a dharmic birth, free of any karmic baggage, and it is for the higher purpose to lift the decaying karma in today's yuga. He guides people to liberation, who sincerely strive for. He is an embodiment of endless love and compassion. His operating level is that of cosmic consciousness and beyond. Mohanji is also a karma yogi who tirelessly continues to contribute for the welfare of the society at large. Selfless service to the world is what every human being needs to inculcate. It is a path that brings contentment, the inner richness, and the only wealth that we can possibly carry along at the time of death. This feeling of contentment is probably the closest tangible form available to experience the otherwise very difficult one's own soul. All stories narrated in the book are true stories. I have authentically expressed them as I have experienced them, as is. It is noteworthy to mention that in none of my experiences is Mohanji physically present with me or around me. The transformational messages from Mohanji reach me just like that, in the thin air, or rather, arise in the depths of my own consciousness. The purpose of life gets fulfilled when we explore this huge phenomenon called Mohanji. The best way to connect to Mohanji is remember Mohanji. The best way to feel Mohanji is through selfless actions. Here's a picture of I Am Mohanji, Experience Sharing by a Disciple, Volume 1. That's the front cover and the back cover together. And there is one more picture, Mohanji browsing through the first volume of I Am Mohanji, Volume 1. A great honor and a great privilege indeed. We start reading chapter 1, Bollywood Numbers. That's the title. I was able to sense Mohanji's messages through Bollywood numbers. An apt song for an apt situation would from somewhere reach my ears. Here are some of them. I'm sure they will inspire your life as well. Subtitle: Beware if you're afraid of truth. Kal Yuga, as we all know, is an era of total unconsciousness. People of the era are so occupied with sensory pleasures that the truth that the entire existence, including our own selves, is the manifestation of supreme energy, and supreme energy alone is the activator of the entire show, means the creator, sustainer and dissolver. This remains totally eclipsed. Time and again, scriptures and great masters have tried to bring us back to truth. The truth that we are the energy, the activating force of life. This truth gets completely eclipsed because we base living our lives totally driven by the mind and the mind-related emotions. Through good karma from many lifetimes, a great master happens in our life. The master guides us to find this truth. But so deluded are we, or so influenced by the mind are we, that as we try to come near the truth, we start trembling. In a finite body, we are used to living in peripherals of defined boundaries, but that is opposite to the truth, which is infinity. A best comparison that is generally referred to is that of the hesitation felt by a river whose ultimate destination is to merge into the ocean. But as it reaches closer, it starts trembling. Mohanji has also mentioned in one of his quotes, "Beware if you are afraid of truth." So firmly have we been holding on to fears and insecurities that we cannot grasp the idea that a life completely free of these can be living reality. One, it is to understand where we belong. We belong to the Almighty. Another, it is to have an unshakable faith in the Almighty. Lord Jesus has said, let your faith heal you. How is our faith so becomes our reality? From my personal experiences, I can say indeed it is a challenging struggle. It is like somebody waking you up after a long sleep, and one cannot just wake up because the sleep has been really long. The truth is completely a different understanding of life. It is to know who we really are or where we actually belong. A clear understanding of this then has no room for fears, insecurities, and more of the kind. But because we are all living, because all our life we cling on to them, it becomes hard for us to perceive a life free of these. So we initially are hesitant to leave hands of them. But it is important that unless we leave hands of them, we cannot catch the higher option. We even try to run away from it and prefer to go back to sleep mode. Mohanji shook me hard here. The medium for Mohanji's message is through a classic Bollywood number from the 50s and the 60s. A strong impulse filled me up that jerkingly made the shift that I was reluctant to make on my own. Mohanji always sends guidance. The format is very subtle. We need to be receptive to recognize it as coming from him. The mind may manipulate and label these as coincidences, which can completely derail from feeling the subtlety. So the Bollywood number that did the thing is "Maut wahi jo duniya dekhe, gut gut kariyon marna kya, jab pyar kiya to darna kya." This song is from the movie Mughal-e-Azam. The movie is based on a true story from the 16th century where Anarkali, who is a trivial dancer in the Darbar of Akbar, which means court of Akbar, The emperor is being bold and expressive about her love for Salim, who is the emperor's son and the crown prince to the throne. Anarkali is fully aware that this affair will cost her her life and she would soon be taken to death. But she rather chooses to boldly express and be taken to the gallows and die a legendary death for the world to witness her story beyond time, rather than remain in fear and opt for suppression. In these lines, she is saying that dying a death that becomes memorable is a death worth dying, suppressing her emotions and living in fear she discards. This gave me all the courage to face truth head on. Mohanji has said that there is nothing to be afraid in life. Maximum what will happen is death. That, anyways, is inevitable and has to happen one day. We might as well live our lives fiercely. I became determined to walk the path of truth and explore it to its core, even if it meant facing the roughest or the toughest situations or breaking the concepts and the notions. I became determined to not get trapped in people's opinions or the socio-moral theories set forth by the society. I have ever since boldly allowed my true expressions. I would rather happily embrace death than to take a diversion from the path of truth. Well, the statement is a bit too hyperbolic. Such a thing I do not see happening. But it's an expression to show the kind of determination that happened. Anarkali was eventually entombed alive in a brick wall. She continues to be remembered hundreds of years later, providing inspiration even in contextually different matters. That was the opening story. There are many more stories, interesting stories to follow. So stay tuned with us, stay blessed. We will see you next time. Till then, goodbye. Jai Mohanji.